put like, I had 68 people like my posts. 68. I had to message all 68 of them, right? But that's just to say, we've got to keep up. So when you're talking to people on Facebook, and Facebook is such a great tool to use, make sure you're saying like this post if you're interested in joining a challenge group. And one thing I really want to talk about with Facebook too, and you can kind of go along with this, is passion. Your posts, you've got to be excited and passionate about what you're talking about in your Facebook posts. Okay, so I'm not on Facebook and I'm not saying, okay, in lowercase letters, like this if you want to be a part of the challenge group, right? I'm saying, guys, and obviously I'm not saying it on Facebook, right? I'm saying, guys, this challenge group content, this thing works, man. I've got a guy who just lost 25 pounds in 30 days. He's totally rocking this thing. This is the best way for you to get into shape and to lose weight. Like this if you're interested. I'd love to help you out, right? I just conveyed my passion to that person, right? I'm conveying my passion, my excitement for this. I'm showing them value, what I feel about this. And people are getting involved. They're excited about it too. So and the thing is, it's different. Right? It's different for every individual because you might not be the overly top excited person like I am. You might be a little more laid back, and that's okay. You be you. That's the most important part of this. You be you.
Yeah, make it sound like you. That's the biggest reason people are going to join your challenge group, because you formed them, you got to know them, and because you built that relationship with them. And they trust in you, they trust in your consistency, because they've been watching you, whether you know it or not. They've been watching you, they've been watching what you do. They will trust you with what you say. I'm going to help you. You're excited about it, you have this passion, and you live this lifestyle, and you're consistently doing these kinds of things, you're going to attract those people. And if you're a new coach, your first challenge group may have 1 or 2 people. That's okay. And you're going to start to attract those people if you are consistently doing this and helping people. Right. And there's many ways that we can invite people to challenge groups through social media. Everybody's using it. Most people in this room, I think, are on Facebook, right? Raise your hand. Okay, well, there's many ways. We all have customers that we can email a newsletter out saying, hey, here's my tip of the week. I do this a lot myself, so here's another secret for you if you want to know. I send weekly emails to my customers, and I can tell you that most of them don't email me back on a regular basis. But I know, just like Facebook, that a lot of them read those emails. A few times a week, I get 3 or 4 people that will message me back saying, hey, thanks for sending me that tip. I always send some kind of a fitness tip, a recipe, and something about me, something that's going on with me that's real. Not, I'm a coach and we're doing this promotion where you can join and get 25% off. It's, hey, I'm heading to Summit this week, I'm going to work out with Shanti, and I'll be back next week, but I have a challenge group starting in 2 weeks. Here's a recipe for dinner tomorrow night, and here's a fitness tip. Boom, that's it.
Right. No, and can I see a hand, you guys that have send out weekly check-ins every single week? How many of you guys do that? Wow. Okay. That has got to change. Okay. I've been sending out weekly coach check-ins through the BeachBody office. You guys know how to do it, right? You go through your customer report and you can send a check-in. Really, and like she said, they might not respond, but they're reading it. You're planting the seed. You're showing people who you are through your weekly check-ins. They want those, right? I'll have people that message me a year later who hasn't responded once and say, I read your check-ins every single week, and I absolutely love them. Maybe I missed a week. They're like, well, what happened? What's going on? Is everything okay, right? So if you're not sending out a weekly coach check-in, that's got to be something you do every single week. And what I do is I put it in my phone. So you guys, most of you have iPhones, right? Everybody has an iPhone. There's a scheduler thing, okay? I have a certain time each week that I send out weekly coach check-ins. I put it in there, and then bam, it goes off. I send a weekly coach check-in. I make sure I'm reaching out to my customers every single week. And what's so cool about the challenge group stuff is that you can just throw things in there. Something that I do personally is I'll share success stories of the people in my challenge groups. I don't sit there and go on. I don't make it sound salesy. I'll just show the proof. So if someone's going through a challenge group, I'll say, hey dude, listen, write me if you can. You've gotten amazing results. I'd love to feature your story on my website or whatever. Can you write me a review? You know, let people know how valuable these challenge groups really are. And then what I'll do is I'll take little bits of that and put it in my weekly coach check-in. And I'll say at the bottom, guys, this is how effective, you know, these challenge groups really are. And I get a lot of people that message me back because of that. It's proof. It shows value in the challenge groups.
Yeah. And guys, those are your customers. Those people are already, you have their audience. They're your customers. When they go and they buy a program, you get the commission from it. And a lot of us, I think sometimes we don't, you know, we figure they're not answering us on, you know, and I was guilty of it at one point too, you know, and I was concentrating so much on always just getting new people from Facebook or Twitter or, you know, when I was out at the grocery store. But those people are important. Spend that time, you know, once a week to make a check-in, and it doesn't have to be long. I mean, oftentimes mine's 1 or 2 paragraphs. It's very short and sweet because I'm a person who does not like to read an email that's like this long.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll actually just number things.
Yeah.
Right? I usually say something like, I want to keep this short and brief, right? Here's the things I want to cover in this check-in. You know, 1, how are you doing? Let me know how you're doing. You know, are you struggling? Is there anything I can help with? That's always got to be the number 1 thing, because you're there to help people. You're there to support them. You know, and I'll just go through 4 or 5 points, you know, talk about maybe strategy samples, talk about success stories and challenge groups, and bam, you know, people don't want to read those long things.
Yeah, and there's many, of course, these are just a few different ways, social media, customer check-ins, emails, of inviting people. You know, if you guys, you know, if you're somebody who has, you know, you live in a neighborhood, everybody lives in a neighborhood, right? You know, you could, a lot of my coaches have done things with their neighborhood, with their friends, with their moms. They, you know, they walk. You know, I have a group of moms that, there's about 10 of them, they go for walks, and that's their weekly thing that they do. But they've started doing challenge groups out of that, and it's grown to like 20 or 30 people. You know, I mean, there's so many different things that you can do to promote your challenge groups, even before you do them, obviously. Yeah. So, we'll go on inviting. We'll talk a little bit about inviting, the actual inviting.
Sure.
Yeah. So, you guys just can't send out 5 messages and expect that your challenge is going to be full. I've gotten messages from many coaches on my team, and they're like, well, I sent out 10 invites and nobody wants to do it, so I'm done for the month. I'm not going to make Success Club. I'm going to hang up my hat and I'm just going to wait and I'll start over next week, right? You got to invite 20 people, 30 people. Like Josh said, he had 68 likes. How many of those people actually did your challenge group that month?
A very, very small amount, you know?
Right.
Because then they find out, you got to find out if they're serious about it, right? And we'll get into that in a little bit, how I handle that, but yeah,
what
right.
will happen is maybe those 68 people, some of them 6 months from now may be ready for a challenge group. So it's just like planting those seeds and inviting. You're always constantly inviting. It doesn't mean they're going to start this month. Right?
Yeah, I mean, people are going to start whenever they feel like they're ready to start, right? You can't push that on people. If they're not ready to start, they're not going to start. And again, you don't want to push them because then you might scare them off, or they might go to someone else. So they're like, okay, well, you know what, I'm not ready to do this. Well, you say, okay, well, just come back to me when you are ready, and I'll help you out, okay? And, you know, and that's right. I mean, like we have here, invite 20 people, get 5. That's probably the right ratio, right? If 60-something people like my post, you know, probably a very, very small percentage, you know, maybe 10 people will actually want to be serious about it and join the challenge group.
Well, and you need to be versatile, and what we mean by being versatile with your challenge groups is not everybody's going to be able to get 5 people or 10 people to do Turbo Fire or P90X, right? And I've had coaches actually not do a challenge group because they can't find people that all want to do the same program. And if you're like me or Josh, we have a lot of customers who have bought programs from us. So what I do personally, and I'll talk a little bit about that, is like, okay, what program are you going to use? Everybody can pick the program that they want to do. The only thing they have to do is obviously be on Shakeology. That's the same thing they all have in common. And we're going to talk, and I'm going to talk about tips, you know, weekly from each program, and we're going to motivate each other. They're clicking.
There we go. This thing is, I've clicked this thing about 15 times, and it finally came up.
They're clicking it quick.
Oh, they are? Oh, yeah. It's their fault. You know, and this is so important, and this is where I was going with the last thing I was just talking about. You got to make sure you have a clear commitment and the requirements, okay? And I see a lot of coaches, especially newer ones, they'll approach people about challenge groups, and then they'll come across an objection. Well, maybe, the price of Shakeology is too much, or I don't want to purchase a program. Can't I just do Shakeology, or can't I just do the program? And a lot of coaches will be like, oh yeah, it's okay, I'll let you do that, I'll just put you in my challenge group. Guys, you got to be strict with these people. And what I mean is, there are requirements, right? For me, it's Shakeology, home direct. Okay, no going around that. Shakeology, home direct, and being on a program. Okay, if you're not doing that, one, you're showing people that it's okay, it's okay if you have objections. It's okay if you, don't want to do this, don't want to do that. It just shows you that they're not serious, okay? You need to make sure that you find people that are 100% serious about changing their life. Those are the people that you want to put in your challenge groups, okay? And why do you want to do that? Why is it so important to do that? Because one, a combination of the two is how you're going to get the best results possible. We all know Shakeology is awesome. We all know P90X and the other programs are awesome. A combination of those two are what's going to get people, the results that they want. You need to find people who are serious.
Yeah, but you want those people to have that clear commitment, because that's the only way they're going to have success. And you are giving your time to those people. You need that commitment from them. I have many coaches that are like, oh, well, I just put them in a challenge group. Nobody bought anything from me, but I'm doing all this stuff every day. They're wasting their time, right? I mean, maybe they're helping some people a little bit. You can have those side groups, maybe those people that aren't quite ready. But when you want to move them into a challenge group and you're going to be promoting your business, take it seriously, and they're going to take it seriously. Like, I make my people, this is my commitment. You have 10 commitments. This is what we're going to do. And if you're not willing to commit, I'm going to kick you out of the group. This is what we're all agreeing to today. And I've had people message me, say, yeah, I'm going to cancel my Shakeology. I just can't do it. Can I still stay in your group? No, but what I will do is put you on the list, so when you're ready to start again, we can move forward.
And the other reason why that commitment is so important, that they meet those requirements every single day, is because the other people in the group need that, right? I mean, those people need your support. That's the reason for a challenge group in the first place, right? Instead of you working one-on-one with this person and just having the support from you, you now have that person now has the support from 10, 15, 20 other people along with you, right? So it's not just me saying, hey, go ahead, you need to do this. It's 10 other people saying, dude, what the heck are you doing, man? Why aren't you posting? What's going on? Come on, you could do this. I know you could do it. That support plays such a big role in those people's results. So you need to make sure that they're committed for the other people, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about, what happens if people don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I don't need to talk about that.
No, yeah. Yeah, and this is a good topic too. Some of you who are maybe new coaches just starting out, or maybe it's a slow month for you. If you have a challenge group and maybe you found 1 or 2 people, don't cancel that challenge group. Look to maybe a success partner that you have. That's another coach. Maybe you guys can team up and you can do that challenge group together. Maybe you have coaches on your team that are just starting out. Add them to your group so you can show them what better way to train them on how to do a challenge group than to do that.
How many of you guys have not put a challenge group together because you can't find enough people to put a challenge group together? Right? There's a lot of hands. And this is why it's so important for you. And this is something that I've done personally with my team. I don't know if we have this on here. I want to talk about it though. This is something that I've personally done with my team. I actually went to the diamond coaches on my team and I said, guys, listen, what we need to do is we need to post on my Facebook page, my team Facebook page, when we are starting challenge groups. That way, when new coaches come in, they can just go ahead and plug their new customers into our challenge groups, right? And if they have one person, don't make that person wait, because if you make them wait, what's going to happen? They're going to leave. They're going to go find someone else. They're going to find another challenge group and another coach, right? You can't make people wait. So what we've been doing is we've been saying, hey, listen, this is the day we have a P90X challenge group started. We post it weekly on our team page. If you guys have any people that you want to add to it, let us know. We'll go ahead and we'll add that person to the group, and we'll add you so that you can watch and you can also participate in the group, right? That way you can kind of learn how we run these things, which is so important. And then you could go ahead and duplicate that. You could do them yourself, right? Once you're ready, once you get enough people, you can go ahead and do them yourself.
Absolutely.
that's what I just talked about.
Yeah, we're going to go a little bit more. We could probably pull up the next line.
Yeah,
too,
I'm going to open up.
Let's do them all, because we get ahead. So
yeah.
So we talked about the requirement. We need to go back.
I wasn't there.
We'll go back.
There we go.
So your commitment, guys, this commitment part is so important, as we just got a little bit into. But if it's firm from everyone, I'm going to commit to my Shakeology 1 time a day. I'm going to commit to working out 5 times a day. I'm going to post in the group my meal every day, what I ate. And I'm going to do that, and I'm going to be committed to it, and I'm going to inspire, and I'm going to motivate everybody else in that group. I'm going to be a part of that group and stay connected to that group. That's my commitment, and me as your coach is going to be committed to being in this group every day, post feedback. I'm going to be accountable, and I'm going to post my workouts in that group too.
Right. Now, and you guys saw that new thing that they're doing with the challenge groups, right? You guys were all at the meeting earlier, right? They're actually coming out with that tool, right? Where you can actually post videos of the trainers. I'm super pumped up about this because I tell you what, guys, just my customers, I know that if they saw a message from Tony Horton, right, they are going to get just absolutely pumped up. And if they see that every single week, right, that's helping them stay committed. Or maybe it's 2 or 3 or 4 more days longer than they would have. Right, so they're going to get results. So BeachBody, I'm so glad that they came out with this because, one, it just helps people stay connected. And she's right. Didn't you say you post videos in your challenge?
Yeah, I'll post videos after I work out. I'll post anything that I can think of to share with my group. Sometimes I have my group challengers post a video after they work out. Some of them are actually posting a video of their workout space after they've worked out or while they work out. I actually, I give them inspirational points, I like to call them, and I change my groups all the time, but it encourages them to be a part of that group, and the other people in the group start to see that, and they want to do it too.
Right. And we talked about the requirements that these people need to meet to be able to take part in your challenge groups, right? You have same requirements, guys. You need to be doing these things yourself. It doesn't have to be the same program or whatever. One, you need to be on Shakeology every day. You need to be doing your workouts. You need to post in these groups every single day. So those requirements are your requirements too, right? You have a commitment as a coach to help these people out, right? So what I'll do is I'll just go in there every single day and I'll post, hey guys, ate 100% healthy today. I completed my workout. This is what I did. Hope you guys have a great day. If you have any questions, let me know, whatever, right? But I'm staying committed every single day, even if these people aren't. It's so important that you are doing that stuff because the moment you become disconnected from your challenge groups, guess what happens? Everybody else becomes disconnected as well, right? And your challenge group falls apart. And a lot of people have seen that. So make sure that you are meeting the requirements yourself as a coach.
I mean, think of some fun things that you can do. I mean, it doesn't have to be a video, but I mean, there's so many cool things you can do. Invite those 5 people to Google Plus, and have a conversation. Maybe they have questions for you. Maybe they just want to connect with you, see their face. Have a conference call with your group. Get them to. The best thing that you can do is also get them to start talking to each other. And I always have my group come in and introduce themselves, where they've come from, what are their goals, and this way everybody in the group, it's a couple days before the group, they start to get to know each other.
Right. There we go.
Here we go. See, that's what I said.
Let's see if I bring up all these again. There we go.
Yeah, so I'll look a little bit more on that, but we start the group early, they get their commitments, and I have everybody go in and introduce themselves and talk about, why they're there, what they want to accomplish, where they're from, and they start to have this interaction. Say, hey, Susie, it's great that you're here. I'm here too. This is my goal. And that really starts to set this excitement starts to build. And I add people from my previous challenge groups to my new groups. So there's people that have done groups that have graduated, and they're there, and they'll be like, hey, I just did this other challenge group, and I lost 20 pounds, and I'm excited because I've got 30 more pounds to lose. And these people start to talk to each other, and it's not just you that's carrying the load of the group. It starts to become, you'll see people that become success partners out of this group too, and friends, across the country, and they don't have to live next to each other. Okay.
There's something I don't think we added in here. I don't know if we did. You could correct me if not. But on how many people should be in the challenge groups. Did we add that in there?
Yeah, I don't think we did.
I think it's important to talk about, though. How many of you guys run, separate challenge groups, 5 people challenge groups? Is there a lot? Okay? How many of you guys do like a big challenge group and just keep bringing people in? Right? I want to share kind of my experience with this because I've been doing it obviously since October, and I've learned a lot of great lessons from doing this stuff. So I started out with 5-person challenge groups, okay? And I quickly found out that it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Because most of the time only a small percentage of them are going to stay committed. And if, let's say that 3 people fall off, you now have 2 people talking back and forth to each other. What good is that doing? Right? I mean, that's just like you talking to them, right? And then what they do is they get ticked off, and then they'll leave and they'll complain to you, hey, I thought the challenge group was something good. So I learned my lesson with that. So then I moved my groups to 10 to 15 people groups, okay? And that helped. It was better. You know, I had, if 5, 6 people fell off, you still had all these people there to support each other and help each other through the entire 90 days or 60 days, whatever it is, or 30 days with Asylum, right? So then, you know, and what I saw happening with my groups again was that there still was like some sort of disconnect, right? I actually didn't have any real requirements in terms of, I actually have documents now, which I'll get to in a minute, that I post in my group with the requirements. But I found, and then what I started doing, this is actually recently, probably about last month or so, I started putting people, just throwing people in one challenge group. And Tommy Migrant made a video about this not too long ago, right? And you've seen this video, right? On YouTube or whatnot? Or Jimmy did it. I don't know, Jimmy or Tommy. But anyways, he said, you know what, just keep putting people in a challenge group. And then just keep throwing people in. Keep throwing people in. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to try that out and see how it works. And honestly, this has been the best method for me. This has been the best way for people to support one another. What's so cool, and what I've been seeing is that, you know, one, I don't have to make people wait. I just put them in a challenge group. So if one person's ready to join a challenge group, I'll just put them in the one that's existing. Okay? And what's so cool about this is that that person's like a newbie. Okay, and even if there's people who've been in it for 10 days or 15 days, they feel like they're like experts in challenge groups, right? So they're like, oh dude, they kind of take responsibility on helping this new guy get the results. So they mentor him. They become leaders themselves, right? They become leaders and they're helping these new people, and then the process keeps continuing as I keep adding people to the group. So this group that I have going on right now has got like 25, 30 people in it. I have never seen a group like this stay as committed as they are. And what's so cool is I'm going to sign up a lot of coaches. Because if these people are mentoring these newbies, what are they doing? They're coaching, right? They're coaching. They're becoming leaders. And we'll talk about, you know, the kind of qualities that it takes, what to look for in a coach or a potential coach here in a little bit.
Yeah, so what do you do when you have those people that go MIA, that fall off the radar, and maybe they're not posting, they stop answering your inbox questions, right? And it's going to happen, you guys. People stop and start all the time, and maybe, you know, I know what happened for me before I was ready and I was committed to losing 70 pounds. It took me a while. I stopped and started, and it's going to happen with your people and with your challenge groups. And like Josh said, if you have these bigger groups, you're going to see people that aren't going to be as active in the group. And then maybe those people that do fall off. But you do have to try and hold them accountable. And, you know, some of the things that I will do is I'll message them. If that doesn't work, I'll try tagging them in the group. Say, hey, you know, what happened? You know, what's everybody up to today? Have your goals changed? You know, I'm not going to call them out and be rude to them, for sure. But I will say, you know, where are you at? I haven't heard from you. What have you been up to? You know, are you struggling? Can I help you? You know, and the group will start to say, hey, yeah, where'd they go? And, you know, maybe life gets in the way, something happened, it's okay. And you can re-add them, reintegrate them back into the group, or maybe something happened in their life and they need to restart at a different time. That's okay too. But don't just let those people fall away, because again, they're your customer, right?
No, it's kind of funny. I got to share this real quick, but I have that challenge group going on right now, and there's this one guy, and he's doing awesome, you know, just doing awesome. But I seriously just want to slap the guy silly, because every time that someone doesn't post, like within an hour that they're supposed to post, he messages me, hey dude, this guy's not posting today. Like, thanks man, I know, I'm on it. And I'm not kidding you, it's like on a daily basis, I'm like, come on man. You know, just I know, I see these things, but I know he's trying to do it for himself, because he's the kind of guy that needs that support. right? He's fallen off for years and years and years. He's a big guy. Fallen off for years and years, and he needs that support. So I understand where he's coming from. Man, he drives me nuts. But what I do, you know, when people do or not post, say they haven't posted in 2 days, you know, let's be honest, guys. I'm a no BS kind of guy. I will tell you straight how it is, and that's it, right? And I do that not because I'm trying to attack you. I do this with my coaches and my customers. I'm not doing it because I want to attack you. I'm trying to attack you because I genuinely am trying to help you. And this is what you need to hear in order for you to move forward with your fitness or your business, right? So it's so important that you are straightforward with people. You know, so I'll say, and along that line, right, is you want to make sure that you don't validate their excuses. Because what happens, and you know this, is that if someone's not posting for 2 days, what happens? You say, hey, no, how you doing? Checking in, what's going on? I see you haven't posted. Oh, you know, I had a family event this weekend. I haven't been able to eat a
cookie and I'm done.
I had a cookie, I'm done, I need to start over again. You know, we all get that, right? And instead of me saying, you know what, it's okay, you can just restart, you can go back, we're like, listen, man, you made a commitment when we started this group. You need to follow through on that commitment. Because what you're doing by, you know, making excuses is you're hurting every single other person in your group. Right? Because that person needs you. That person needs your support. This group needs you to stay committed. Right? So, no more of this, you know, I ate a cookie, I'm going to start over stuff. You just don't eat a cookie. Right? If you want the results, you've got to commit yourself 100% if you want to get them. And what people will say is, one, they respect that. They respect that because that's what they want to hear. They don't want you to say, oh, it's okay, and validate their excuses. They want you to just rip them a new one. That's the truth. I have so many customers of mine that come back and thank me. Dude, that's what I needed to hear, man. Thank you. I will make sure I do that. Right? I mean,
another good way, you know, is to go back to that initial post that they posted that said why they were in that challenge group, or look back on your Facebook messages and the conversations you had with that person, and say, hey, remember you told me, you know, in 60 days you're getting married. You wanted to fit in that wedding dress, or you know, you wanted to be off your medication so you didn't have to have surgery or whatever it was. Go back to that reason and remind them, because they're going to get halfway through that program and there's going to be people that are going to be slacking and have that excuse saying, you know, I lost my motivation. You know, we're not motivated every day. Most of us aren't. But you have to be committed to getting up and doing it because you want that result. You want to reach that goal. And it's not always going to be motivation. It's going to be that accountability of that group and that accountability that you have as a responsibility as their coach. Take that seriously, you know, as part of that commitment.
There's something, you know, and I skipped over this. I wish I hadn't, because it really is an important point that I want to get across. And write this down, guys. You need to make sure that you make a document of all your requirements. Okay? And what I do is when I add people into my group, the first thing that I say to them is, hey, listen, the requirements are right here. Okay? They're in this document. Make sure you read through every single one of them. Okay? And what I'll do then is, if they are slacking, I'll say, listen, you read the documents. This is part of the group. Go back and reread them and make sure that you're staying committed. You know, and I don't know if you do this, but I have 3 documents that I post. One has like a buttload of tips, you know, diet tips, nutrition tips, or workout tips, everything like that. And you know, the other one has all the requirements. I can't remember what the other one is at this point, but good, right? But no, it really is important that you make sure that you lay out those requirements for people, so that they know they're there, so that they read through them.
And do the same thing.
Yeah, right.
It's part of that. It's part of the getting that commitment and setting a tone for your group. Is saying, you know, okay, before we start, you guys, here I have a video that I share that I think, I don't know if Jimmy made it, but somebody made it, and it's great. It's non-coach specific, and it goes through saying, welcome to the challenge group. Take your measurements, take your pictures, gets them started, gets them excited. Welcome everybody to your group. Go introduce yourself to the group, and here are these 10 commitments that you have to commit to. And when you've read this, I need you to post below it that you've committed to it and that you will. And every person in that group has to say they will. And there's something that I can go back to and say, look, you said you were going to do this.
Right. And you know what's great about that is that if people still aren't, you know, they might have told you they're serious about it, and they're still like, hey, you know, maybe I'll just do what I want. Once you say, hey, here's all the requirements, you're like, oh crap, this guy's not kidding. Okay?
Yeah.
Right? And I have people do that. Be like, oh man, you know, I got to make sure I follow these. And I strictly outline. If you miss a day, you know, I'll reach out to you. You know, a posting I'm talking about. I'll reach out to you and I'll give you a warning. Right? If you miss 2 days, you're gone. You're done. You're out of the group. Right? So I'm showing people right there. I'm serious about this. You need to be serious about it as well.
Yeah, and this is going to help you guys. This commitment from them, this excitement from them, and this with them posting, you're going to start to develop their story. You're going to be able to help them and say, look, this is part of your commitment. I want you to document when you have that rough day. I want you to have your pictures. It's so necessary because you guys know if you're a coach and you've lost weight, you have those success stories. Most of us, when I took my picture when I was 225 pounds, I hated that picture. I didn't want to show that to anybody. But I'm so glad that I have that now because it's proof of my hard work. And when I'm, you know, and I looked at that picture 30 days after I took that, that was motivation for me because I saw a difference in that picture. It wasn't always the scale because, you know, ladies, maybe gentlemen too, but that scale can lie to us sometimes. And there's people that get obsessed with that scale. But pictures and measuring is so important as a start for their story, but it's also those things that they do on a day-to-day basis. Remembering how they felt on day 21 when it was, you know, kind of halfway through. And day 21 can be tough for people. For some reason, that's that time when people start to teeter a little bit. Yeah. So they can remember what pushed them through. Maybe it was somebody that they met in that challenge group, a story that somebody shared that kept them going. You know, and start to create that story of the things that they've struggled with. I mean, all of you guys have a success story, right? From your weight loss or what Shakeology did from you, from something that you can share with people. You want to help these people that are in your challenge groups produce that as well and work with them on that.
Exactly. And when she's talking about taking pictures, it's so important that you make that a requirement. You know, and the thing is, guys, you don't have to say, listen, you have to post them in the group because there are a lot of people that aren't comfortable with posting pictures in their group, right? And I know a lot of people, and I say to them, guys, listen, take pictures for yourself because I want you to see in 30 days the kind of results that you're going to get and how proud of yourself, right? That's so important. So make sure they take those measurements. Make sure they take those day one pictures before they even start. It's so important. And those results, right? And let's just face it, this is a results-driven business. Using these products is why we are able to build a successful business because we're products of the products, right? Our results create credibility for us. You know, and these people, even if they don't even know they're going to become coaches, they're going to become coaches if they get the results. And part of becoming a coach is showing off your results, showing people what is possible with BeachBody products. It creates that credibility, right? That credibility just shows people, hey, you know what, I'm going to listen to this guy. This guy knows what he's talking about. And a perfect example of that is I'll carry my before and after pictures around. Right? I'll carry my before and after pictures around, and when I start talking to someone about P90X, they'll be like, yeah, here's my results. And they're like, dude, that's awesome, man. I was thinking about doing that. You know, I've been wanting to do it for a while. And they're like, well, dude, I coach people through these things. You know, I help people through it. That's what I do as a job. Where can I get started? Literally, I have so many people say that because of my results, right? So when you tell people to do this, we're doing that, one, to prepare them to become coaches and show off their results, which is going to build credibility. You know, but two, it shows them, it pushes you. You know, you see those day one pictures. I don't know how many people have said to me, come back to me, that I put in my challenge groups, and they'll see their before pictures, and dude, I just made myself sick looking at my before pictures. I don't know why I let myself get to that point. I will never, ever let that happen again. Thank you for letting me post these in the group, or thank you for telling me that I need to take these pictures. You know, and then once they get the results, it's just, they feel so amazing, like, man, I'm a brand new person now. This is unreal.
Yeah, I think we kind of covered those last two.
Right.
So this is just from one of my challenge groups, just a typical post that I asked my challenge group because I was seeing in my challenge group all these ladies. It was probably like day 7, and they were all going, I got on the scale and I didn't lose any weight. You know, we were just talking about the scale. It can drive you nuts. And I personally don't like to get on the scale either. So I told everybody, I said, I'm going to ask everybody in this group not to get on the scale, throw it in the garbage, whatever you got to do, throw it outside, hide it under a bush, whatever you got to do. do not weigh yourself. And this was her post. So it's pretty cool. So she said, she feels great. She's not going to do it, and she's agreeing to it. So it's pretty cool. So that creates some excitement. Actually, it's day 6, so that's pretty cool.
Right. And we talked, I don't know if we talked about the last one, which is make tips,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So one thing that I'll do in my group on a daily basis is just put tips out there, right? I might say something about how I'm doing, how I'm staying committed to myself. I talked a lot about the Ultimate Reset a while ago. I was posting that every single day. But then I would give like a health tip, something that I learned by going through the Ultimate Reset, something that might be able to help them out. It helps them, right? People read those. They love that stuff. So it's so important that you are posting tips and motivational stuff. Because, let's just face it, even though they're part of a group, they lose motivation. A lot of people lose motivation. Coaches lose motivation. And what do we do to motivate ourselves? Well, we read personal development, we'll talk to other people, so, and me, I like reading stuff on the internet, like reading quotes. Right, so I'll go and I'll type in Jim Rohn. You guys know who he is, and I'll put Jim Rohn quotes, and I'll read that. If I have a day where I just don't feel like doing anything, I'll read these quotes, and I'm like, man, you know what? I need to just focus, get this stuff done, make my way through my task list. Right, so I'll take those quotes and I'll throw them in that group, and it does help. These people love that stuff. Right?
How easy is it to go on Pinterest? You guys are on Pinterest, it's Instagram, and you may find a quote, a fitness quote. That has a really cool picture that's relevant, and post that into your group. Those are powerful sometimes, and those get people thinking. Easy things. You don't have to be a fitness expert. You don't have to be a nutritional expert. Just share things that will help people in your group.
Yeah, right. Where's Jay Red at? How are we doing on time? Where's he at?
He's going to give us the signal.
Oh, all right.
There's your Ultimate Reset.
All right. Like I was talking about, the Ultimate Reset, this is one of the things that I posted. You guys can see that, right? You guys can read it? And what I just did was, hey, I'm keeping everybody updated on how I was doing with the Ultimate Reset, and I was honest with people. I told them I was nervous about it. I was afraid of not being able to work out. I was afraid of losing muscle mass, and I'm like, I'm going to be real with these people, right? This is going to suck for me, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to just commit. So, and this is what I put. And every single day I put something along the lines of what I was doing with the Ultimate Reset at the time. So if I was struggling, you better believe I was posting it. And believe me, I was struggling, guys. I had some sort of allergic reaction to where I couldn't even open up the door without sneezing. I set a record in a day for sneezing. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I don't even know what it was in it, but I had an allergic reaction. And I posted that. I'm struggling. This is what's going on with me, right? But I am pushing through it. I'm sucking it up. I'm pushing through this headache that I have every single day because of my caffeine withdrawal. It was bad, right? But that's part of it. I was telling people my flaws, what was going on in my life. I was showing them it's okay to struggle. It's all right. Just make sure that you're pushing through it. So this is just an example of something I'll post in my challenge groups.
We have about 15.
Huh?
About 15.
15? Holy cow.
Yeah.
What the heck? All right. So this is just, this is an example of some of the people in my challenge group. Something that I do, I tell people, listen, every single day you need to go on there and you need to post what you had for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and what you had for your snacks. Right? That way I can kind of go through those every single day and make sure these people are staying on track. If there's something that I see that's not healthy, I'll say, hey, you might need to adjust this a little bit. You're eating pizza. That's not really on the diet. Okay? You need to change what you're doing. So that's, these are just things that I have people do. Come on, dude. We talked a lot about this stuff already, right?
Yeah, this is good. We can kind of breeze through a couple of these because we went a little bit of ahead and they all kind of intermingle. This is all part of the nuts and bolts of your group. It's that daily interaction and making sure that you yourself aren't going in as the expert and being helpful. We have bad days. Share it with your people. Be with them and look for those people. Like Josh said, there's that guy that naturally he's wanting to coach people. He's wanting to help people. Look for those people. Help people when it's needed. Don't try and be that expert and overwhelm somebody. Look for those people. Know when you're not. Refer them to somebody who can help them. Because sometimes people have underlying issues that they need to take care of. Don't try to be that expert. Refer them outside the group for that.
Right, and guys, you're going to find coaches from this. this process is so perfect because it does breed coaches. It breeds natural coaches. You're going to see people emerge as leaders in these groups. I do every single time I form a group. You're going to see people form certain qualities that it takes for a leadership role, right? These people who are staying committed every single day, they're posting every single day, they're answering questions from the other group members, they're getting the results, they're doing what they need to do to be successful in the challenge groups. These are the people that you need to approach about coaching, right? And something that I'll say to them, and I say this every single time, I get excited. I'd be like, man, I'll tell you what, you have all the qualities that it takes to become a successful coach. You're already helping these people, right? And I'm sure you're recommending this stuff to all your friends and family, or they've taken notice, and everybody that you know is taking notice of your results. You become passionate about these products. That's what this is about. That's what being a BeachBody coach is about, right? And I'll approach them with excitement, and they get involved. They want to get involved because they love it. They become products of the product. They become passionate about our products and talking about them, right? So it's perfect. You will see coaches emerge from this.
Yeah, absolutely. And start to plan your groups. Are you going to do another group? Are you going to stay in this group and help me motivate the next group? Because maybe they're not ready to be coaches. Maybe they still need to be customers and develop their story. So,
do you do graduate groups?
I do. I personally have usually 3 groups that are going at one time, but they've each started 30 days behind. And once that 90 days is up, I say, are you guys, whoever wants to stay in this group can stay, but I want you to help me because I'm going to bring in, 5 to 10, whatever it is, more people, and they're going to be on their first day, and we're going to kind of help them. So every 30 days, I have a new group starting, but I have 3 groups running at the same time.
Yeah, and you'll notice too that if you say to people, hey, listen man, if you want to stay, you can stay, people love staying. They love it. Because they kind of feel great about helping new people. And that's why I say, you guys want to stay, you can help the newbies that are coming in. They're like, yeah, man, I'd love to stay. Or I'd love to do another round, right? I'd love to do this for another 90 days. So a lot of my people just stay in my groups. They either become coaches or they stay in the groups, and then there's a few that just kind of, do their own thing. But that's okay, and that's going to happen.
Just want to make sure we have enough time to get to our thing. Yeah, I think we're getting close.
Yeah.
So obviously, guys, this is part of promoting your groups, is talking about those success stories, talking about those people that whether they lost 5 pounds, 10 pounds, or they felt great, or they were able to run that marathon, or whatever they did. Talk about those on Facebook. Don't talk about, just yourself. Talk about those, because that is going to help you. Get your customers to send you testimonials like Josh said. I do it too, because I want to share those stories with other people. Take those pictures and share them.
Yeah, and while we're on that success story thing, guys, I cannot stress the importance of this. There's nothing wrong with going to your customers and saying, hey, listen, can you write a review for me? I'd love to show other people what's possible by joining a challenge group. So what I'll do is I'll take that review, I'll post it on my website. If you guys don't have a website or a blog, post it on Facebook. You have the Facebook notes, right? So when I have people that ask me about the challenge groups, what do? I say, hey, listen, you want to know? Here it is. Instead of me spewing information all over them, I just send them to this Facebook note. Or I send them to my website to read this review. Because one, that shows the value in it. Right? It's not me talking about how great it is. It's someone who actually physically went through this thing that's saying, this is awesome. You need to join. Right? So you need to make sure that you're going to these people that are taking part in the challenge groups and you're asking them to write reviews for you. There's nothing wrong. People love doing it. I'll say something like, and I said this earlier, I'd love to share your story on my website because you will inspire a lot of people and they love that. They will do that for you.
The only thing we need to add to that, and I have this, but I don't need it, is repeat. Just do over. Keep doing this process. Encourage people, and your business is going to grow. Your business is going to keep growing, and you're going to have those success stories. You're going to have those challenge groups full every 30 days.
And then boom.
And boom. Encouragement.
No one has any idea what that's from.
Christy talked about it yesterday. Christy talked about it a little yesterday in our group. So
you guys have seen Couples Retreat?
Yeah.
Right? Boom. Right? That's where that's from. All right.
So I'm gonna bring up a success story. I know we're kind of running a little bit close, but I have a girl who came to my challenge group. She was one of my customers, and she hesitated a while to join, but finally did. And Christy Miller has done an amazing job. She's now a coach. And she's very close to reaching diamond herself in her business. But she's done an amazing job, and I'm so proud of her. And I wanted her to come and share her experience with you guys as well. So thank you, Christy.
Can you guys hear me? Well, it took me quite a while. I think Hillary friended me in May of last year. And I had posted on Shalene's site and said, I love TurboFire. I just, been doing it, had lost a little bit of weight on it. And she just sent a really nice comment, said, I've been doing TurboFire too, and I love it. I lost a lot of weight, and then friended me. So it was just really simple, and I just watched her for like 6 months. Well, every time she'd post about a challenge group, I'd like, can I join? And then I'd go to sign up and look at the price, and I'd say, never mind. And I just kept doing this. And finally in October, I remember life just completely sucked, and I don't even have a nice way to put it. It was just really, I have 4 kids. I live in like the armpit of Kansas. It's like a very tiny, small town. We don't have stoplights or anything. We have Casey's and a Pizza Hut, I think. The whole county doesn't have a stoplight. So I'd been through a lot of financial trouble, and so I didn't want to spend any money because I didn't want to tell the bald guy that lives with me because he might get kind of angry. So I just kept watching Hillary, and I watched all her posts on Shakeology, but I watched how she talked about her family and her kids, and she just seemed really real. Because I'd been part of stuff before that wasn't real, and people just kind of take advantage of you and then drop you and throw you to the side. So I was just really watching Hillary close. Like, I watched every webinar she ever posted on Facebook that said, come check out what Beachbody coaching is all about. In fact, I had the whole manual printed out before I ever joined her challenge group. I was watching so intently, and I was just inspired by her. So finally, I remember I was laying in my bed in October, and I was like, okay, God, like, I'm like 50 pounds, 60 pounds overweight, and I am miserable, and I don't have money, and I don't know what to do, and I just wanted something that was going to give us some breathing room during the months. Anyway, I was just like, but first I needed to take control of the weight because I was depressed, and I didn't feel good. I had 4 little girls, and I didn't want them to have that kind of mom. And so all the time I'd go sit at my desk in my office, and I would read Hillary's success stories. I would look at her before and after pictures, and I'd be like, I can do it. I saw that she was a real person, so I'm like, she did it, I can do it, she's real. So finally I jumped in and I said, okay, I have TurboFire. Can I just buy Shakeology because I can't afford another challenge pack? And she said, yeah, that's perfect, you're in. So I remember starting and thinking, there's no way I'm going to finish this because I'm a quitter. I quit everything that I've ever done. I let myself down. So in December, I started in November, and then in December, I decided, I kept reading all about coaching. I told you I already printed off the coach manual. And so I just read it, and I Facebooked Hillary and private messenger, and like, oh, by the way, I just signed as a coach. I need the accountability because I don't want to quit losing weight once the challenge is over. And I'm afraid, I just really needed that accountability. And she was like, yay, I'm so excited. Now I know why. Like, I would love for a coach to be like, hey, I joined, I need some accountability, so I'm with you. That doesn't happen all the time. So I keep praying, like, I'm gonna have some people like that. So I watch so intently what she does, and I just, the integrity part of it just catches me. So I'm like, okay, I need to operate with integrity. When I post about a challenge group, and I don't want to post like, Beachbody's awesome, and we're great, and you're fat, and lose weight. No, I don't do that kind of stuff. I see other people do like some really crazy stuff, and I just say, you know what, I lost 20 pounds, I feel better, I have more energy, I don't cry myself to sleep anymore, I have purpose in life every day, and I hope that resonates with people. And so now every month I try to start a challenge group, my goal was just to inspire people, and I want other women or men, I just say women because I was so messed up. When you go through financial craziness, I told her I'd get choked up. My first check was $12. I was so excited. I took a picture. I was like, oh, it's $12. And I stuck it in my cabinet. We have this corner cabinet, and I stuck it. I emailed Hillary. I'm like, I took a picture of my check. You probably think that's dumb, but she's like, no, I did it too. So I stuck it in my cabinet, and I kept sticking them in my cabinet, And like I said, we didn't have money. So our truck broke down. My husband tried to pull some guy out of a ditch. When you live in Kansas, people think it's funny to go mudding, and it's not. And so he had to pull them out, and it ripped out our 4-wheel drive, and it was like, it was supposed to be $2,000. We found some guy who did a half-butt job, and it was $1,000. So I pulled out all my BeachBody checks that were up in the cabinet, and I had $1,000 that I kept stashing up there. And I was so overwhelmed because I didn't want to cash the money. Anyway, but then I posted that. No, I didn't post like, hey, I have $1,000 paid for my truck. I was like, thank you, God, because you answered my prayer in October. And thank you that you gave me this opportunity, and I lost weight, and I'm making money. And, I have some people that say, that's multi-level marketing. Didn't you get screwed in that before? And then I just nosedived. I just like pulled out, And then I thought, you know what, it's working. I had money. I'm losing weight. I'm happier. My husband likes me better. I'm getting back in. So I just hope that with BeachBody that I have purpose every day. I didn't have purpose before. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. I work a full-time job too, and I like it, but I don't want to do it full-time. I want to do this, and I want to watch other people. I love it when somebody emails me and says, help me, I want to do what you're doing. Or the other day a friend texted me her before picture, she's like in her shorts and her bra, and I was like, what was that? She's like, put that in your group, because I'm joining. And I was like, okay, I got you, you're in. So, it's funny, because you never know. People are just watching it, and I love, I ran a 5K a couple weeks ago. I took 8 minutes off my time, and this, I'm not fast anyway, I was still pretty slow. But the walking group was walking past me, and this girl hollers, and she's like, you're my inspiration, that's why I came today. And I cried, all the way to the end. I'm like, what? And some other girl, she caught me in the store, she's like, you resonate because of what you're doing. And she's like, and you're helping so many people, aren't you? And I had to think, because sometimes when you don't make Success Club, like that happened to me my first month in March, I think, and I was like, oh. And then I decided, I'm putting my boots back on. I'm gonna jump in. I gotta get this challenge group going. I didn't tell Hillary this, but when she asked me if I would share my success story, I wasn't registered for Summit. I lied. I wasn't registered.
She did. She came.
What I did was I got on our group team, and I said, I saw a girl had just posted a couple of days ago that she was selling her ticket. I'm like, it's mine. I'll take it. And I paid for it. I found a roommate, Jessica, and I said, whatever it takes to get here. Oh, and I'm not going to sit on my butt and watch the birthday bash from my room. So I busted my tail and sold 5 challenge packs in a month, which is the first time I've ever done that. So, I hope you guys are all great leaders. Like Hillary, I'm sure Josh is a great leader, and that you have integrity. And so that's what I do, and I just one challenge group after the other, and I just want to inspire people like she does.
Thank
so
you.
I don't know if that's what I was supposed to say,
That's
but that's
awesome.
what you got.
Thank you.
Good?
I'm gonna give you this.
All right, so,
The other guys are-
okay, so really what it all comes down to is that
softy.
this is a system of duplication, right? Like we said in the beginning, this is an easy system of duplication that your coaches can do. And it's a process, guys. It's a very simple process. What's that process? It's very easy to break down. 1, you build relationships. Remember, that's the most important part of this entire thing. You build relationships with people. You build that trust, and then you get them involved in the challenge groups. You support them is number 3. They get the results, right? They're going to become passionate about BeachBody products before you approach them about coaching. It's very simple to do. You'll see leaders emerge. You'll see certain qualities in people. And 5, then they're just going to duplicate what you've done, right? They've already taken part of the challenge group. You just have them do the exact same thing with their business once they become coaches. That's all I got to say, Hillary.
Yeah, go out there, show your team how to do this. Do what I did with Christy, and now that Christy is doing with her customers and creating her own team. And you guys are going to have that gravy pie that Michael Neiman was talking about. So go out, enjoy Summit, guys, and we'll catch you in the halls. So thank you for coming. Thank you.